Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Kausal Biology Cafe. Today a very important topic we are going to discuss, that is the lymphatic system and transportation in plant. This is my lecture number 8. I have already prepared 7 lectures on this topic, that is the life process of standard 10. So you can go and visit those lectures also. So let's get started. The topic that we are going to discuss is the lymph. Then after that we will be discussing about the difference between the lymph and blood. And then we will start with the transport in plant. In that we will be discussing about the xylem, phloem, their function, also their components. And along with that we will be discussing about the ascent of sap. So let's get started. So what is lymph? Now see, this is the picture of human lymphatic system. How we have the circulatory system. Likewise, there is lymph capillaries which is present around the body. Okay, so like blood, it is also a fluid which transport. So lymph is a transporter fluid. Now it is a specialized component of the circulatory system. How the blood is important, in the same way this lymph is also very important and it is the part of circulatory system. Now what make lymph? Lymph कैसे बनता है? So the pore which is present in the wall of capillary, that is the blood capillary, what happen? Some amount of plasma, protein and blood cells escape into the intracellular space. Means from the wall of capillary there are certain pores, and from that pores this plasma, proteins and some blood cells escape into the intracellular space in the tissue, and this tissue, this intracellular space, form this lymph or lymphatic system. Here are the characteristic of lymphatic system. Lymph. The lymph is colorless fluid. They having no color, as the red blood is having the red color. Now it transport the tissue fluid like the protein, fat and other substances to the general circulation. What do they transport? So they transport the proteins, fat and other nutrient into the general circulation. So this is the lymphatic system. You can see the picture, right? And it is equally important as the blood, because along with the blood, lymph also help in the transport of material. Here is the lymph capillary which is there in the tissue space. Now see, this is arteriole which carry the oxygenated blood. Now this arterioles converted into the venules and then vein, right? Now this is blood capillary which is present in the tissue. Now you can see this round structure, that is the tissue, that is the cells which is the part of tissue. Now in the tissue, what happen when the blood is diffusing into the tissue? Some of the component of the blood is escape from this wall and come into the tissue, and here the lymph is formed. These are the lymph capillary. Now whatever the substance which will escape out of this blood capillary, it will enter into this lymphatic system. So this is the lymph capillaries. How these are the blood capillary, this is arteriole, this is venous, and these all are the tissue, and whatever the amount which will escape from this venules or this blood capillaries will come into the intracellular space. Now this intracellular space will form this lymph. I hope it is clear. Now let's see the difference between the blood and lymph. Sometime in the board examination this kind of questions are there. So blood is red in color, whereas the lymph is colorless. When you see the red blood corpuscles, it is there in the blood, but RBC is not there in the lymph. So RBC is absent in the lymph. Now in the blood, lymphocytes are present. Okay, lymphocytes are present in the blood, but in the lymph, more lymphocyte is present. The number is more in the lymph. Now here in the blood, you will find nutritive substances are more. In the lymph, the nutritive substances are less in amount. Blood carry more oxygen and lymph carry relatively less oxygen. Right? Now, blood having the metabolic waste and carbon dioxide in normal amount, but lymph having more than the blood, means metabolic waste and carbon dioxide will be more over here in the lymph. Now in the blood, soluble proteins are more, and in the lymph, insoluble proteins are more. Now blood also have large amount of fibrinogen, whereas in the lymph the fibrinogen is very less in amount. So here we are finishing with the difference between the blood and the lymph. Now let's go to the new topic, that is transport in plant. Okay, we have already seen the transport in the human beings. Now plants are also living creatures. They are also complex organisms. So they have also transport system. So most of the plant having developed a complex vascular system. See, vascular means how we have the arteries and vein. Likewise here it is vascular system. In the plant we call it as a vascular system that move the nutrients and water. This vascular tissue will help in movement of the nutrients and the water throughout the body, plant body, and tubes of the conductive cell. Now the vascular tissue of these plants are called xylem and phloem. In the plant we have two tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Both are complex tissue which form the vascular tissue. Now in the diagram itself you can see these are the tubes like structure which is conducting the substance. Now here you can see this is root and this is soil. So plant will absorb some water and mineral from the soil and it will transport it into the plant upward direction. You can see here. Okay, these are the xylem tissue, right? This is leaf. This is leaf. In the leaf what happen? Photosynthesis take place. When photosynthesis will take place, what is going to be synthesized there? So they will synthesize food. So water and minerals will be transported to the leaf through the xylem tissue. Now in the leaf is going to make the food. Now this food is also need to be transported. So the food will transported from here till the root and also in the upward direction. So this is phloem tissue. This is xylem tissue. You can see the small difference. Food is required in every part. Okay, and soil, from the soil water is absorbed and it is moving upward direction. We will discuss the same thing in detail. So transport system, there are two transport system. The one that transport water and mineral from the root to all other part, that is called xylem. Xylem का function क्या है? It transport water and minerals from where to where? From the root to other part of the plant. Now another vessels transport sugar. जो दूसरा transport system है, that will transport the sugar and amino acid which is made in leaves. Whatever the food is synthesized in the leaves, it will be transported to the other part of the plant by phloem. Here is the picture diagram of xylem which is showing the one way direction, and this is phloem which show two-way direction. It can move up also and it can move down also. Now we will be seeing the xylem and phloem is a complex tissue. It is made up of 4 different type of cells that we are going to see. Now, yes, very important. We should know how the water is transported to the leaves. If you know the anatomy of the plant, you will understand here. See, this is the root. This whole part is root here. What is there at the end of the root is root hair. Now this root hair is embedded into the soil particles. Now this soil particle is having the water. So water is absorbed by the root hair. Then it will transport to the epidermis, and then it will go to the cortex, root cortex, and then endodermis. These are the layers of the cells. When you see the transverse section of the root, you will find all these layers of the cells. From the endodermis, it will enter into the xylem tissue. This is the xylem vessels through which the water is transported, and it makes a column to the leaf. Now this is leaf. These are the cells. Okay, so xylem will give water to these cells, and these cells ultimately give this water to the next cell, and during the transpiration this water will be evaporated in the form of transpiration. So you've seen how this water is moving in upward direction to the leaf. See, diagram is showing how water, the dissolved minerals, along with the water, dissolved minerals are transported from the soil up to the leaf of the plant, because water is required for the photosynthesis, right? Please hit the like if you like this video. Okay, now a very important topic, that is the component of xylem and component of phloem. We all know the xylem and phloem are the complex tissue. What is complex tissue? So complex tissue means more than one type of cells is present. Understood? So xylem is having 4 components, that is tracheids, vessels, fiber and parenchyma. Actually you can write xylem fiber, xylem, parenchyma, tracheids and vessels. These are the component of xylem. This is phloem, and sieve elements, companion cells, xylem, phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma are the component of the phloem. Here is the diagram. You can see this is the tracheid and these are the vessels, how they look like. This is phloem part and this is the sieve tube, and along with that these are the companion cells. Now you can see the sieve plate also, where it is perforated, means the small holes are there through which the food will transport. In the vessels also we have the small dots, that is the pit through which the water will transport. Okay, now next a very important topic is ascent of sap. What do you mean by ascent of sap? Okay, also it is called the transpirational pull and cohesion theory, which was proposed by the Dickson and Joly in 1894. Now this theory is based on 2 facts, that there is cohesive and adhesive property of water, and second is transpirational pull or transpirational pull force, which is developed by the leaves during the transpiration. What is cohesive force? What is adhesive property? Let's see that. The cohesion is the phenomena of attraction between a similar molecule. 2 similar molecules are attached together by a force that is called the cohesion force. Okay. Now the water molecules remain attracted by the cohesive force. All the water molecules are attracted toward each other with the cohesive force. Now there is attraction between the water molecule and the inner wall of the xylem also by the adhesive property. So what is adhesive property? The adhesive property says the water molecules and the surface of xylem, there is also some interaction, there is also some attraction. So that is the adhesive property. Understood? So due to this, the water form a continuous column in the xylem vessel. So because of this cohesive force and adhesive force, water can make a continuous column in the xylem vessels, which help them to reach to the leaves. Now this is the simplest diagram explaining the ascent of sap. Here this is the root hairs, and in the root hair, by the process of osmosis, water will enter into it. Okay. Now the root pressure will push the water into the stem. Now the water will reach to the leaves. How? See, this is the capillary action which result in the rise of water at the base of the stem. Because of the capillary action, the water will rise into the xylem vessels. Now there is also adhesion and cohesion force which make the column of water molecules. Means water molecules will also attract each other, and the water molecule will attract with the wall of the xylem, and it will reach to the leaf. And once the water is lost in the form of water vapor from the surface of leaf, that is called transpiration, and it will create a suction pull which bring the next molecule to the stomata. Understood? So the evaporation of water from the leaf will result into a suction force. Okay, here the suction force will be created once the water molecule is lost, which pulls the water up, and because of this suction pull, the next water molecule will be attracted over here, and so from the here the continuous column will be formed. Okay, suction force due to the transpiration, it is known as the transpirational pull. कभी कभी क्वेश्चन आता है, sometime you may find this kind of question, what is transpirational pull? So it is the suction force due to the transpiration. Understood? And transpirational stream, it is the stream of water going up to the plant, that is called the transpirational stream. So I hope the ascent of sap is clear to all. Here we are finishing with the chapter. Thanks for watching. Please share, like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.